Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to start Cambridge International AS and A level Computer Science Paper 2, and this paper is belongs to May-June 2021. This is pre-release material. Let's start the solution. This is task number 1, arrays. Introduction. Candidate should be able to write programs to process array data in pseudocode and in their chosen programming language. Each task should be planned using pseudocode before writing it in programming code. But I have given a solution in terms of programming code. If you know the programming code, then you can easily write the pseudocode. Task number 1 is design a way to store multiple pieces of data about a student in a single string like this: student name, email address, and date of birth. For that purpose, declare the array prompt and input student name, email, and address and date of birth. Form the string as shown above. Assign the string to the next available array index. Repeat from step 2 for all. Okay, this is the question. Now I will provide you the solution. Now I have written a solution of task 1.1. Here I have declared an array with array name is std array. This is an empty array, and I have defined a function with the name of task11, and this is my main method, and I'm calling that task11. Okay, that is 1.1, but I have written 1.1. In this task, what they will do: n equal to integer input, enter the number of students in a class. Why I have taken this statement? Because it is the requirement of the question paper. They will enter all the students in a class. I don't know how many students are there, but it will ask you to enter the number of students, and you will enter number of students, and that will store into variable n. For index in range of n, it will move till that time, till that value of n. If value of n is 7, it will move from 0 to 6. In the loop, what I have written enter the name of the student and will store into variable std name. Same way, std email, variable email will get the value, and student date of birth, because these three parameters are required: name, email, and date of birth. After this, I did the concatenation. I joined these three strings into one string: std name plus asterisk according to the questions. I have put the asterisk, student name plus asterisk, student email plus asterisk, and student date of birth. Concatenate all three fields, and it will store into variable std record. And after this, I have append that record into the array. Now if this is the first record, it will store into the 0 index into the array std array. After this, it will move to the next index and it will store the next record. So on, it will move to the available index and it will store all the record till n number of times. I have written a display function print. Now this is line number 13. This is a not part of for loop, but this is the part of this function task1. And print what I want to display: student name and email and date of birth. And how can I display? I have taken variable index. For index, this is the loop. For is the loop index in student array. How many length of this array? It will move that index from 0 to that length and it will display all the value. And here I am calling to this method task11. Okay, I want to run the program. Suppose enter the number of students in a class. Suppose right now I am entering 3. Enter the student name. Name is Ali. Enter the email of the student, ali@gmail.com, and date of birth. Date of birth, how I can enter? DD, MM, and Y. Suppose I'm writing 12 March 2005. Okay, like in this format. Okay, enter the name of the student. This is the second student. Name is Ahmed. Email address ahmed@gmail.com, and date is suppose 02 Feb 2004. In this way, it will get the third record. Okay, I have entered 3 records and it will display me like this: student name, these are the name, Ali, Ahmad, Salam, these are the name, then email ID, and then date of birth. Okay, this is the task number 1. In task 1.2, consider what happens when a student details are deleted from the array because the student has left the class. Decide on a way of identifying unused array elements and only output elements that contain students' detail. Modify your program to include this. Now I have modified the program and I have written task 1.2. This is task 1.2. Okay, this is task 1.2. This is task 1.2 and I have written task 1.1 and task 1.2, and after this I am calling in the main first task 1.1 and then task 1.2 in terms of task 1.1 and task 1.1, task 1.2. Okay, task 1. Why I need task 1? Because I will enter the value in the task 1, just input is required. They are inputting the value, and in task 2 what they are doing in task 1.2, this is task 1.2. first of all it will display all the array, and then while it is true I have implemented here a loop. Okay, for what purpose that loop? It will delete a record. This is another function, delete a record. Okay, if I will go to delete a record, what is in delete a record? This is delete a record. In delete a record I will ask which index number you want to delete. Okay, because first of all I will show you all the index number and what number you want to delete it, that you will enter into variable del index. After this I will remove that index. Okay, this is array name, this is built-in function as student array dot remove, and this is student array of index. Okay, and after this here is display function. What display function will do? Display function will show me the remaining value into the array. Okay, now I want to run this program. First it will run task 1.1, means that will enter the value that I have already entered the value. I will do the same, and then task 1.2, then it will run task 1.2. I'm going to run this program. This time also I'm going to enter number 3, 4, anyone you can enter, but right now I'm going to enter 3. Enter the name of the student. You can write the name of the student. Now I have entered all the detail. Task 1 has been completed. Now task 1.2 has been started here. And what is task 1.2? It will shows me index number 0 contains this record. Okay, index number 1 contains this record. Index number 2 contains this record. Okay, now they are showing me all the student detail. Suppose one student has been deleted or one student has left the class, then how many students are left? Okay, how you will manage this? Okay, for that purpose I have written which index number you want to delete. Suppose you want to delete number 1. Okay, index number 1. When you will delete it, then it will shows index number 0 is Ali. The Ali is already there. Okay, index number 1. Now index number 2 is shifted to index number 1. Okay, now Ahmad record has been deleted from this place. You have seen this record has been deleted, and the Salim record is shifted in place of Ahmad. Now right now you have only 2 records, 0 and 1, Ali and Salim. And do you want to delete another record? If you will enter yes, then it will delete that record. Okay, if you will enter no, it will not delete that record. Okay, I'm going to press no, but if you will press yes, it will delete that record. Suppose I want to delete. Okay, I'm going to press yes. It will ask me which index number you want to delete it. Now I want to delete 0 index. Okay, if I will delete 0 index, the record of Ali has been deleted. The remaining will become the Salim only. 0. You can see now index number 0, Salim is there. This is the task 1.2. Task 1.3 extend your program to populate the array as in task 1.1. Prompt the user to input a student name, search the array to find the name and the output the corresponding email address. Okay, you will enter the name of the student and then you will display the email address of that student. Now here I am calling task 1.3, task 1.3, and for the uses of task 1.3 we must have a input records. For that purpose I am calling to task 1.1, that is already I explained about task 1.1. Now I'm going to start task 1.3. Okay, but for this program I need to task 1.1 and task 1.3. Okay, now what is in task 1.3? This is, I have written SPL string equal to this. Okay, split string I will use for the split string, because our string is combination of name, email ID and date of birth. For that purpose, what I will use, first of all, I will split. Okay, flag equal to false, that will indicate me record has been find or not. Then it will shows true, otherwise it will display false. Okay, search student. Enter the searching student name. You will enter a name that will store into the search student. And after this, for index n in range length of array, our index will start from 0 element to the length of the array. Okay, and what you will do, you will get the in that index, you will get record by record. First you will get the first record, and I'm giving that record is going to store into a string variable that is called each record. After this, I'm going to split this record by using this format, and this format is means star, where star will find from that place you should split the string and will store into split string that is in empty array. Okay, it means what you will get, you will get three field in that SPL string. You will find three element, three values into that array. Okay, first value or element is the name, second is the email, and third one is the date of birth. And 0 means 0 contains the name. Now I am checking if that's in the index number 0, that is the name equal to search student name. If that will be find and that will be equal, then what you will do, you will do the email of that student is this, and flag will be true. That is just tell me, that will show me whether you have find the record or not. Okay, and if you will not find the record, flag will not be true, and in that case, once loop will finished, once loop will be executed, once loop will be false, then it will start if flag equal to false, then print searching student is not found. Okay, now I want to run this program. I have entered these three records and they are displaying me as it is. Means first record is Homa, Aruj and Ahmed. Enter the searching student name. Suppose you want to search out the Aruj, AROOG, Aruj. Okay, then it shows me the email of Aruj is aruj@gmail.com, and if record will not match, it will display the searching student is not find from the array. Now in this case, suppose enter the student name. You want to find student name is Asif. You want to find the student name Asif, then it will display me searching student is not found. What student you want to find that is not available into the array. Task number 1.4. Extend task 1.3 to output a list of all students who have birthday in a given month. Now in this case, I am also using task 1.1. Okay, but what I will do this time, I will not use task 1.1 as it is. What I will do, I will give the value, I will give the fixed value to the array. Okay, means I will initialize the array by using some values. Okay, because I will not enter again and again these values. Okay, you have seen the implementation of task 1.1. okay, what is in task 1.4? okay, first I will do this is again I need to split this string. Okay, flag false, that will indicate me value has been find or not. Month, if I know this time I'm asking my user will enter the month in format. Okay, means you will enter 3 digit only, 3 characters. Okay, for index in range, then it will check all the array, it will display, it will traverse all the elements from the array elements. Then first element, first record or first index value will be stored into each record, and then this each record is split by using asterisk and will store into the SPL string. Means one string is split into 3 different elements. One string is split into 3 indexes. One complete string is splitted into 3 different places. Okay, First will become the name, email ID and date of birth. And what will we do, that is date of birth is on the index number 2. 0 is the name, 1 is the email ID and 2 is the birthday. And then I'm checking split SPL string of 2 will give value to the month of birthday, and then it will check if month of birthday will get value from starting value 2 to 5. Okay, it will get 2, 3 and 4. 5 will not be included. Index number 2, index number 3. Suppose month will be, because first 2 digits for the date, and after this 3 digit, after that 2 digit, 3 characters are the name of the month. Okay, that's I'm picking 3 characters, and then I'm comparing what is that month. Okay, if they will match with that month, then it will display all the students, okay, that having the same birthday in that. Okay, now I'm going to replace task 1.1. This complete task 1.1 I will replace with the initialization of the array. Okay, now I'm going to initialize array here. Now I have initialized this array. Rather than I will enter again and again this value. Okay, for your understanding, for better understanding point of view, I have entered there. I have initialized this array, and date of birth is 25 September. Okay, two are the same. Okay, when I will run this program and task number 1.1, I can comment on this task 1.1 that will not be executed. Okay, now I want to run it. Enter the month in April. Suppose if I'm going to enter September, SEP September, and it display me the student Ali has birthday in September, the student Ahmed has birthday in September. Okay, now if I will check which one is March, how many students are there in March? Only one. Now if I will enter MAR March, then it will display there is no birthday of any student in this month. Okay, why it is M is capital? Okay, because this is case sensitive. MAR, it will show me the student Kamran has birthday in March, and if you will enter any other student wrong data, then it will display no student has birthday in this month. Suppose you want to ask in June, the student Rizwan has birthday in June. Okay, May, there is no birthday of any student in this month. Okay, this is task 1.4. In task 1.5, convert your design to use a 2D array and add additional pieces of data for each student. Okay, for example, my array 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, student name. 1.1 you will store student name, email address, date of birth and student ID and tutor ID. Okay, now I will start 1.5. Okay, this is task 1.5. Okay, 1.5, what is doing here? Same way I am asking, enter the number of students. Suppose you are entering number of student 3, and then it will store into one list. This is row number 0, row number 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, it will ask the name and will append to student name. It will append to the list name is LST. Student email also append to list, date of birth, student ID, student tutor ID, and at the last student this list also append into in other list, that is called STD array. Okay, means you can say list in another list, nested list, you can say two-dimensional array. Okay, because all these values are storing into this list, and this list also storing into student array. I want to run this. Enter the number of students. Suppose you want to enter 2 students. Name of the student Ahmed, email of student ahmed@gmail.com. Okay, but date of birth suppose 23 September 2005. Enter the ID name is 12 DE. Enter the tutor ID CD45. This is second student name. Enter the student name of the student, suppose Shehbaz. Email ID shehbaz@gmail.com. Date of birth is 31st of May 2004. ID number is 32@GS. Tutor ID is E345, and it will shows me this array. First Ahmed record, then Shehbaz record. Okay. Task 1.6, modify your program to work with the new structure and extend the searches to work with any piece of data. Any piece of data. You want to search from any piece of data. Yeah, this is task 1.6. I'm calling only task 1.6, no need task 1.5. Okay. Suppose I'm removing this task 1.5. This is task 1.6. Okay. What I want to search any data. Okay, any piece of data. I want to apply search by using any piece of data from this array. Array name is student array and task is 1.6 or 16. Flag equal to false. The purpose of this flag is just indicate whether the value has been found or not. Search data equal to input, enter the searching data. For row in range in length student of array, it will shows me how many rows are in the array. 1 2 3 4 5 rows are there in this case. Okay, but this is dynamic array. Okay, if you want, because I have written length. For call in range 5 to range 5, then what you will do, if search data equal to std row and column, if it will match search data equal to std array row and column, then you will show that student row. Okay, then flag equal to true, and then it will be break that time. And if flag equal to false, searching data is not exist. Okay, now what I want to find, I want to find the data by using this id number. I will search this, control C. When I will run this, control V, it will shows me this is Shehbaz @gmail.com. This is email with the email 25th April 2005, and like this you will find. Okay, if you will find the data by using date of birth, and it will display me Ahmed. Or if you will, any record is September, if I will say September, control C, what happened? Search data is not exist, because you will find the full column. Okay, mean full value. If you will find the Ahmed, control C, control V, it will give me Ahmed. Task 2.1, define a structure for a text file used to store multiple pieces of data about each class member as a single string. Each line of the file will store data for one student. Suppose student ID, email address, and date of birth. Okay, and define a fixed format for the student ID. For example, 2 letters followed by 4 digits. Okay, I will use same. Suppose first 2 should be a letter and remaining 4 should be a digit, and then email ID and last date of birth. This is task 2.1. First of all, I have opened a file, and file name is student.txt. Student.txt, it will create a text file, and file name will be a student, and this will open in append mode. Okay, and n equal to input, enter number of students in the class, and it will enter the number of students, and according to that it will apply the loop, and it will enter all the students in a class. If you will enter 3, and it will move from 1 to 3. Student ID, it will ask you to enter the student ID. This is student ID, and student ID should be equal to 6 in length, and it should be not, first 2 should not be a digit, and last 4 should be a digit. From 0 to 2, it means 0 and 1. Index number 0 and index number 1 should be a character, and index number 2, 3, 4, 5 should be a digit. Okay, and if it will not cover the or fulfill the condition, then it will ask again and again until you will fulfill the condition. Email ID, then it will ask email ID and date of birth, and same way date of birth should be equal to 6 and all should be a digit. Okay, after this it will concatenate all 3 fields into one record, and that record will store into the file. Okay, f dot write, and what is f? F is a file pointer. Okay, now I want to run this program and read from text file. It will display the data what is in the file. Okay, I have used 2 functions. One is task 2.1 and read from text file. I want to run this program. Number of students in the class. Suppose there are 2 students in the class. Okay. Enter the student ID using the format 2 letters. If you will enter 1, 2, 3 DSA, it will tell me to enter again. If you will enter AS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, length is more. It will not be accepted. If you will write SA 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, it will not accept. If you will write SA 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the correct format, it should be accepted. And no, this program is accepted by this format. Enter the emails of the student. Suppose ahmad@gmail.com. okay, enter the date format DMMYY 0202 and 20. Okay, enter the student ID using the format 2 letters followed by 4 digits. This is the for second student. Okay, I'm writing DS1232 like that. Okay, email ID ali@gmail.com. Format is 010105. Okay, and we have stored 2 students. Okay, now I will open this because this file, where is this file is created? This file is created here. Okay, Python, this is my folder and they have created this file. If I will open, these are the 2 students. Okay, 1 and 2. If you will enter it again, it will display, it will append the third one in this file. So this is the task number 2.1. Task point 2, write a second program to search the file for a given student ID and the output the email address if the ID was found, or a suitable message if the ID was not found. Task 2.2, okay, for a given student ID and output the email address. This is task 2.2. It will need to enter the one searching ID number as a parameter, and this is a flag. Flag will indicate value has been found or not. File, this is a file for opening. I am going to open opening mode and open in reading mode. Student.txt, this is the file name and this is the mode of the file. Okay, it will be open in reading mode. For read line, this is a variable what I have given the name read lines in file. Okay, what is file? What file is the pointer that is pointed to student.txt. And what they will do, student ID. I am split student ID. I'm splitting student ID, email and date of birth. How I am splitting? 0 to 6. Okay, ID number is 0 to 6 because my ID length is 6 digit. 6 length. 2 is the letter and 6 is the digit. 4 is the digit, that is totally 6. That's why I combine 0 to 5. Okay, it will move 0 to 5. 6 will not include. Student email ID, read lines, it will move from 6 to where? It will move from length of complete line, complete record, -7. Why it is -7? 6 is the number digit for the date of birth and 1 is the length because length will start from, suppose length is 19. Okay, but this indexes start from 0. That's why we always saying length -1. And if we will do length -1 and what I did, 6 is already minus, that is date of birth, and 1 is from that length due to index start from 0. That's why I did -7. Okay, and then this is date of birth. I will get the last 6 digit into the date of birth. And what I'm checking if student ID will match with the searching ID, then I need to print that email ID of that student and flag should be true. And if flag equal to false, then print email ID is not found. Okay, now I want to run it. Enter the searching ID. What searching ID is there? If I will say SA1234, they will show me that is IDs belongs to Ahmad. Okay, I want to open the file. This is file. SA1234 is belongs to Ahmad. Okay, this will show me Ahmad email ID. Task 2.3, modify the search code to perform a substring match on the student ID. For example, search for all the student IDs that begins with AB. Okay, that begins with AB. Here I want to find the substring of the ID. Same thing is there. What I will do, read lines in file student ID. This is student ID, this is email, this is date of birth. And what I will do here, I'm saying if search ID in student ID, if you will find that search ID or substring in student ID, then you will append that into the result, and result is in empty array, empty list. Okay, how many records will be find in that one, and that will all records are appended to the result. Okay, after this I can see how many records are there. Okay, for that purpose I need to enter some values, then I will check it. Okay, here I need to enter the values. So this is my text file, student.txt file. Here I will use to enter SA3245 and name is Salim @gmail.com and date of birth is 020203. Okay, so this I have entered the record in text file. Okay, I'm saving this file. Okay, now I want to run this program. This is 2.3. I want to run this program. Enter the searching ID. Suppose I'm writing AB. They are showing me email ID is not found. Okay, SA, yes, SA. AB is not there. I'm finding SAB. Okay, what I need to find, I find SA. They are showing me there are two records are there, SA1234, SA3245. Next one, 2.4 is modify the program to allow the details of additional students to be appended to the file. Means just you have to open that text file in appending mode. Okay, remaining is the same algorithm. 2.5, consider rules that could be applied to ensure the data entered is acceptable. Modify your program to incorporate these. Okay, actually according to my point of view, I have observed that these two values should be, we should work on these two values. Rule number 1 is we should make sure that email format is correct. Rule number 2 is make sure that date format is correct. Okay, this is task number 2.5. It will open a text file. Number of inputs are the same, and then it will enter the number of ID. Okay, what I will do here, I will ask the number of student that you want to enter. Here is the loop, number of time it will execute. Student ID already I have implemented the validation for the length should be 6, first to be a character and last 4 should be a digit. After this it will ask me to enter the student email ID, and what I am doing for email ID, I'm checking it must be contained at the rate of. Okay, if at the rate of is not in the student email, then it will ask me to enter again email ID. Okay, or Gmail not in the std email. If you are not writing Gmail, right now I have implemented only Gmail. If you want to implement Hotmail, yahoo.com, office.com or any other domain, then you can write that name with by using the or and in the list. Or Gmail not in email, or std email, this is std email -4, that is last digit. It will start from, I am starting from the starting, -4 means that is the last 4 digit, last 4 character, last 4 substring should be matched with .com. Okay, if you will match in this way, I'm checking only these 3 values. If this condition will true, then it will repeat this step again. Input, please enter the proper email of the student. Okay, and after this, once you will enter the proper email ID, then it will check the day, month and year. Okay, After this email, then I'm going to validate the date of birth. This is also an important step. It will ask me to enter the date of birth. Date of birth should be here by using this indent, and this should be also here. Month and year, day, month and year. It will split string because I am entering the date of birth in terms of 4 digit only, but I will split day, month and year, 2 digit for day, 2 digit for month and 2 digit for the year. And after this it will check the length should be 6 and it should be all the digit, and month should be validate, day also should be validate, and year also should be validate. What I have written for the validation, I have written month check. How they will check the month? Month should be between 1 and 12, month greater than 0 and month less than 12. Then it will return true, else return false. Again, day check. How they will check? Month and day. Month list 1 is 1357, so on. These months are belongs to 31 days. List 2 469, these are 30 days, and second and month number 2 February, that is only for the 28 days. Suppose it depends on the leap year, but I'm considering this is 28 days. And if M in list 1, in the first scenario it belongs to day greater than equal to 1. If M equal to month, then day greater than should be greater than 1 and less than equal to 31. If in case of second scenario where days are between 1 to 30, in the third scenario where days are between greater than 1 and less than equal to 28, okay, they will return true, otherwise they will return false. And here what I will check the year, because all the dates are all the years they have written 0 from 2002 2015, and because this is AS level and it must be student should be 16 or 17 years, that's why I mentions year greater than equal to 0. Years greater than equal to 0 means that is 2000. Years 2000, 2001 means 1, 2002 means 2, okay, and it should be year less than equal to 15. Okay, the year's value should be greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 15. Okay, 15 may be for other classes. At least 6 years student should be here, then you can enter this. Okay, this you can set it anyway, but just I want to give an example of for the validation. Return true, otherwise false. This is main method. Okay, so I want to run it. Enter the number of students in a class. Suppose I want to enter 2 students more. Enter the student ID using format 2 letters followed by 4 digit. I am entering SA12454. Email ID. If I will enter wrong email ID, suppose I am entering SAF, they will ask me enter the proper email ID. If I will enter SAF@Gmail only, it will accept me. It will ask me to enter the correct email ID. SAF@gmail.com. It will be accepted. Date of birth. If I will enter 45 days not existed, February and 02. It will ask me please enter the proper date of birth in a DD, MM, YY format. Now I'm entering 25th February and 2003, 03. This is valid. Okay, they are showing me 20 February and second day 3 and 6 is there. Okay, just for I want to check whether what date is coming. Enter the student ID using the 2 format. Now I am going to enter the second validation, second student data. Second student data is DS58747, and the email ID is asad@gmail.com, and date of birth is 12/12/02. Okay, this data has been stored into the file. If I will open the file, okay, what I will do, I have to write here f.write Okay, what you will write? The record. Okay, what is the record? Same record that you have, means for example my record equal to std id plus std id plus std email plus std date of birth. F write my record and then give me one line to the new line. Now in this case, if I will enter, that will be stored. What's the name of this? F. Okay, indentation. Okay, now I want to run it again. Enter the number of students in a class. Enter the number of students in a class. 2. Enter the student ID using the format 2 letters. Suppose DS2154 and enter the email ID saf@gmail.com. Format 020203. Second student DW2587. Gmail ID Mustafa@gmail.com. Date of birth 020305. Okay, now I will check whether data has been stored or not. Now I will open a file. This is my file student.txt. You see data has been saved. This student. Now student, please, if you like my video, please subscribe my channel and share this video with your friends. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.